One of my favorite shows is Peaky Blinders. And if you've ever seen it, especially the first season, they do a lot of work on the cut, which is a series of canals that runs through England. Well, what happens when one pattern designer decides to turn one of those little boats on the cut into a sewing studio? About a couple months before I was set to leave to go to the UK, I got an email from this lovely young woman who said, "You know, you don't know me, but I heard you were coming to England and thought you might want to see my boat. It's a sewing studio." My first thought was, yes, I want to see your little boat. I am all about anything and everything that is out of the, quote, norm. And let me tell you, Tracy's little sewing boat is the most fabulous thing I have ever seen floating on water.
I'm Tracy Perks and I'm a quilt pattern designer, and I love free motion embroidery and basically anything crafty and quilty, to be honest. We are on the Grand Union Canal, and we are on the little boat, so it's a 26-foot narrow boat, and it's my little floating studio. It was the time of the recession, so it was about 2009, and I was a HR manager at the time, and I got made redundant. Yeah, it was really difficult. So we just came up with this mad idea one evening. Let's just sell it while we've got the equity in the house and get a boat. And the boat that we went to look at, I was like, it's too much money, we can't afford it. And the guy did us a deal, a really good deal. He knew our circumstances, he liked us, and it was at the bottom of his garden and he needed to sell it. So yeah, and that was about 14 years ago.
Wow.
Okay.
How did the little boat come about?
Right, so I had a working area in the main boat, which was the old dinette. And I think it must be 2 years ago now. I'd obviously outgrown this area.
Yeah. We all do.
Yeah, and the fabric buying has become a problem.
Well, I wouldn't say problem.
No,
but
yeah. Bri, my husband Bri, bumped into one of his mates and he said, "Oh, I've got this boat and it's sunk. I've got it back up out of the water. Do you want to buy it?" And it was a shell.
Yeah.
It had been at the bottom of the canal. And to raise it, they put whittled potatoes into the holes, and then they pumped the water out of it. I don't know, after about a week and a half of being worn down, and Bri going, "You've outgrown, come on." So, yeah. We bought the boat, we got it for a good deal and stripped it out. The we is the royal we. Mm-hmm. Yeah. My husband, he's a welder, he can weld, he can build engines. So he fitted the engine in this, which is the dumper trucks that go around on construction sites. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's a Lister engine, so it sounds like a dumper truck going down the canal. So yeah, just ripped the walls out, put new insulation in, put electrics in, what I wanted to have it so it was powered by solar power. So we've got solar panels on the roof, but also I wanted it for resale as well. So if the time comes that I outgrow this boat, so there's a little stove over here that you could cook on, and there's a sink, and then there's the log burner as well over here, which gets used in the winter.
Yeah, this is amazing. I love everything about the whole idea of the boat, and I don't know, kind of the uniqueness of it. I like anything unique. So tell me about you, and like what is your passion? Obviously quilting is one thing, but what would you say is your passion?
I think building a community, which I'm starting to do now. I've got my Facebook group, and also having things that are accessible to people financially as well, which is, I think that's really important. Well, it is really important to me that people can afford to do stuff. And my patterns are aimed at beginners and learners, so people can just jump in and create a really nice looking quilt with the starter skills.
Yeah.
That's important to me. I don't want it to be complicated. Yeah, I teach. I do some Zoom teaching, and also I've got a retreat coming up as well that we're going to be teaching on. My background's HR and done loads in the training and development area. So people learning, and when that light bulb goes off and people are like, oh, I get it now.
Yes.
That's what I want to see.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I've got some workshops developed for Zoom, and also trunk shows that are all online and in person, but not in the States. So.
Yeah, that's my next question.
Yeah.
I mean, just keep in mind there is a 5 to 8 hour time difference depending on where in the U.S. you are located.
Well, I like to have stuff in jars, so on shelves, and the shelves are crammed as full as possible. So you can see those, what's in the jars. And also I've got plastic boxes that I can pull out quite easily and have a look. So I'm not having to root through everything and find stuff.
Do you find that organizing them, do you use labels for them, or you just generally know what goes in what box?
I don't use labels, I'm not that organised. My husband was helping me package up the patterns, and some of them had got mixed up, and he's like, why are these not in the same, all in, why are your sugar skulls not all in one box?
Right.
Why have you got hearts in there and a giraffe? So I did, it was chaotic in here, I did organise that, because I thought if he's going to start helping me pack patterns up, I do need to not go from here and, So, no, labels not.
I noticed on your website you had the FME Club.
Yeah.
Tell us about the FME Club.
The Free Motion Embroidery Club is, it's about learning how to free motion embroider. And that's one of the designs. My sister-in-law designed that for me, and that's the other side.
I like that.
And these are a couple of designs that I'm doing for the memberships, the little bookmarks.
Yeah.
So also I want people go, well, I've created this now. What do I do with it? So part of the membership is about things that you can make, and that's going to be like the bonus content, things that you can make from your sketched out designs. And it's a lot easier than you think. As long as you can lower the feed dogs and put your foot to the floor as fast as you can, move your hands around and have a practice.
Yeah, I think that's just embroidery or quilting, free motion. I think that's the toughest part for me anyway, was learning the balance between your speed and your hands.
Yeah.
Getting those in sync.
Yeah, I am a drummer as well, so I think that might help, because I can do the hands, the foot, but free motion embroidery is easier than you think. So that's the club, and there's Zooms, and there's a Facebook group, and
That's awesome. Thank you so much for doing this.
Oh,
And thank you for having me on your little boat.
No, thank you for coming all the way. And yeah,
I was in the neighborhood.
yeah,
It's
you're in
fine.
the neighbourhood. Thank you.
Okay.